Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn next chapter of entrepreneurship, grade 11th, that is who entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur. When we talk about entrepreneur, an entrepreneur is a person who is an innovator, who is a problem solver and a risk bearer. Now we are going to see various types of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are creative individuals who conduct lots of innovative business. Some may prefer to carry forward the business alone and share the business with others. They are in different forms, maybe the farmers, laborers, fishermen, artisans, importers, exporters, bankers, professionals, etc. Lots of classification available about entrepreneurs. Mainly they are first, innovative entrepreneur. Innovative entrepreneur are those who introduces new products, new methods of production technique or discovers new market or new services, etc. They are commonly found in developed countries. They are aggressive in nature and they always try to make the idea successful one. Next are imitative entrepreneur. This type of entrepreneurs always tries to copy the innovations made by innovative entrepreneurs. They are organizers of factors of production rather than creators. They contribute to the underdeveloped countries. They are adaptive and more flexible. Fabian entrepreneurs are very shy and lazy. They are very cautious. They do not venture or take risks. They are rigid and fundamental in their approach. They follow the footsteps of their preceders. Drone entrepreneurs. This type of entrepreneurs are conventional in their approach. They refuse to copy or use opportunities that come in their way. They are not ready to make changes in their existing production methods. Even if they suffer losses, they resist changes. Business entrepreneurs. These are the ones who develop an idea for a new product or service and then establishes an enterprise to produce products according to their ideas. Most of the entrepreneurs belong to this category. Next are trading entrepreneur. Trading activity mainly involves buying and selling of commodities. They undertake trading activities, whether domestic or foreign trade. They have to identify the potential market for his product in order to stimulate the demand of products. They use many techniques to promote trading. Industrial entrepreneurs, they essentially manufacture products and offer services which have an effective demand in the market. They have the ability to convert economic resources and technology in a profitable venture. Corporate entrepreneurs, they are those who, through their innovative ideas and skill, able to organize, manage, and control a corporate undertaking very effectively and efficiently. Usually, they are promoters of the undertaking. Corporations engage in business, trade, or industry. Agricultural entrepreneurs. Those who undertakes agricultural activity as well as allied activities in the field of agriculture is known as an agricultural entrepreneur. They engage in raising and marketing of crops, fertilizers, and other inputs of agriculture through employment of modern techniques, machines, and irrigation. Technical entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs who are technical by nature in the sense of having the capability of developing new and improved quality of goods and services out of their own knowledge. Skills and specialization are called technical entrepreneurs. They concentrate more on production than marketing. Non-technical entrepreneurs are those who mainly concern with the developing alternative marketing and distribution strategies to promote their business. They are not concerned with the technical aspects of the product and service they are dealing with. Professional entrepreneurs. They make their profession to establish business enterprise with a purpose to sell them once they are established. He or she is always looking forward to develop alternative projects by selling the running business. He is not interested in managing operations of the business established by him. He or she is very dynamic. That means he just develop the business and give away to the existing business. Next are spontaneous entrepreneurs. They are otherwise known as pure entrepreneurs who are motivated by their desire for self fulfillment and to achieve or prove their excellence in job performance. They undertake entrepreneurial activities for their professional satisfaction in work, ego, or status. Their strength lies in their creative abilities. They are natural entrepreneurs in any society. Next is induced entrepreneur. They enter into entrepreneurship because of various governmental supports provided in terms of financial assistance, incentives, concession, and other facilities to the people who want to set up their enterprises. So they are not basically inherit or they do not have a urge for being entrepreneur. They are induced entrepreneur. That means situations are in their favor. Next are motivated entrepreneurs. They are motivated by their desire to make use of their technical and professional expertise and skill in performing the job or project they have taken up. They have enough confidence in their abilities. They are highly ambitious and are normally not satisfied by the slow progress in their jobs. So they take up entrepreneurship as their earning activity. Next, entrepreneurship are in the terms of their generations. First generation entrepreneurs, these entrepreneurs start their industrial unit by means of their own innovative skill and expertise. They are usually combine different technology to produce marketable products or service for the consumers. They are essentially innovators having no entrepreneurial backgrounds. Inherited or second generation entrepreneurs. They are entrepreneurs by inheritance and are seen in India where they inherit the family business through succession and passed in from one generation to another generation. Third generation entrepreneurs, these are those types of entrepreneurs wherein their grandparents and parents have been entrepreneurs and they have inherited the business. This competencies of an entrepreneur. Competencies are the qualities of any person. So, being an entrepreneur, they should possess certain qualities. The person behind the successful performance is called an entrepreneur, and the caliber required to carry on his business successfully is called his competency. Competency is composed of knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics which underline effective or successful job performance. These competency attributes are observable and measurable, and these attributes distinguish between superior and other performance. The entrepreneurial competencies can be classified as under initiative. It is one of the fundamental competency required for an entrepreneur. He must be a keen observer of the society, the commercial trends, the product types, the change in consumers' taste and preferences, etc. He must be willing to take necessary steps for starting enterprises. Next competency is creativity and innovation. If an entrepreneur has critical thinking and positive outlook, he will be able to meet all challenges and to bring new ideas and creative ideas to satisfy the customer. Next is risk taking and risk management. Entrepreneurs always searching for a new ideas that are not familiar, maybe they are uncertain. In order to achieve the goals, he is always ready to take the risk and able to manage the risky situation occurring to the organization. Next competency is problem solving. There will be lots of problems that will come to the path of the entrepreneur during the progress of his business. He should find out alternative solution by bringing new ideas and products. Next is leadership. Leadership is a quality of leading his workers to proper guidance and motivation for the achievement of organizational objectives. Every entrepreneur must possess all the good qualities of a leader by inspiring his workers. Next is persistence. Persistence of an entrepreneur denotes the ability which keeps him constantly motivated even when he is confronted by obstacles. That means, may he face a setback, he should overcome it. It is he who has made his dream come true. Entrepreneurs moves up when things are not going well. Next is quality performance. A successful entrepreneur perceives that his performance is different from others. He believes that it is his high performance which ultimately differentiate him from low performers. Next important quality of an entrepreneur is information seeking. Information collected by an entrepreneur plays a crucial role in the progress of an organization. The quality in the method of collecting information and extent of its utilization will help for the success of the organization. Next important quality of an entrepreneur is systematic planning. An entrepreneur is expected to have systematic planning which will help him to prepare an action plan for every area of operation in order to achieve the predetermined goal. He should have persuasion in entrepreneur. The entrepreneur in entrepreneurship is refers to the ability of entrepreneur to link, convince, and influence other individuals, group agencies, creditors, debtors, consumers, and even competitors in order to create a contact and maintain good rapport. That means he should have a good relationship with all the stakeholders of his firm. Communication skills, that is very important. It is the ability of an entrepreneur to transfer ideas, plans, policies, and programs to employees, debtors, creditors, customers, and even who is connected with the business in order to inform, influence, and express his feelings. Next important quality is technical knowledge. An entrepreneur needs to address the rapid technical changes in the industry. Higher levels of technology must be introduced in the production method in order to achieve productivity demands. Therefore, he must update his technical knowledge in order to serve customers quickly and more effectively. Next important and last quality that an entrepreneur possesses is self-confidence. Self-confidence is an essential trait in an entrepreneur because he is regularly called upon to perform tasks and make decisions that require great amount of faith in himself. He needs to have a strong but realistic belief in himself and his ability to achieve the predetermined goals. Next important topic of this chapter is business ethics. Ethics are certain behaviors, responsibility, and moral standards of a business. Business ethics refers to certain moral values and behavior in a systematic manner that will not harm or affect the welfare of the society. Business ethics has its origin Greek word ethos means character, norms, ideals or morals prevailing in a group of society. Ethics is concerned with what is right and what is wrong in human behavior, judged on the basis of standard form of conduct or behavior of individual. As approved by society in a particular field of activity, ethics may be viewed as the entire body of moral values that society attaches to the actions of human beings. Ethics can also refer to the codes or other system for controlling. Business ethics refer to socially determined moral principles which should govern business activities. Business ethics are charging fair prices from customers, using fair weights for measurement of commodities, giving fair treatment to workers, and earning responsible profits. A business person behaves ethically when he or his actions are upright and serve the interest of society. Business ethics is a form of applied ethics or professional ethics that examines ethical principles and morals or ethical problems that arise in a business environment. It applies to all aspects of business conduct and is relevant to the conduct of individuals and entire organizations. Business ethics, certain business ethics are very important values in entrepreneurship ventures. This is particularly essential in decision making process. Ethical concise reminds entrepreneurs to make trustworthy and profitable entrepreneurship decisions. Awareness of moral and ethical principles will help the entrepreneur to solve challenging ethical problems. Those who follow ethical principles will continue their business practices for a long time. Following activities will help entrepreneur to protect the ethical values for the progress of their business. So, avoid breaking criminal law in one's work related activity. This is the very first and important business ethic. Providing good quality and correct quantity of goods to the customers. That is the next important ethic. Taking necessary actions to avoid pollution during the production. Paying reasonable wages and salary to the workers. Avoiding promoting child labor for production process and other activities in the firm. Sustainable and judicious use of natural resources. These are few important business ethics. Next are giving maximum employment opportunities to the people in the locality of business, collecting maximum resources from the society and try to avoid importing of it. That is becoming more dependable and less dependable and more independent. Next important topic of this chapter is entrepreneurial attitude. An attitude is a tendency to react favorably or unfavorably towards a designated class of stimuli, such as a customer, caste, an institution, or a nation. Attitudes constitute an important psychological attribute of individuals which shape their behavior. It may be defined as the way a person feels about something, a person, a place, a commodity, a situation, or an idea. The deep rooted feelings are attitudes which cannot be changed. Entrepreneurial attitudes are the essential attributes possessed by an entrepreneur. These attitudes help him for higher growth of business, bringing levels of motivation, increases energy and capacity of entrepreneurs, increases level of confidence, and help him to take apt decisions when problems arises. Affects behavior. If attitude of an entrepreneur is good, it will obviously going to affect the behavior of the people who are working with him. It is invisible. People cannot see, but they can feel. Attitudes are pervasive, that means they are remaining for a longer period of time. Attitudes are acquired, that means it can be changed, it can be improved, and it can be deproved. Sources of attitude, that is direct personal experience, the way people are treated, the same way they will be given the rebound. Group association. Attitudes is of course because of the association among the people. It is influenced by others. Any person's attitude can be changed or can be improved or deproved with the help of others' influence. Essential attitude of an entrepreneur. He should have a passion for the business. Entrepreneur's passion will help to overcome difficult moments and will persuade people to work for him and want to do business with him. Passion can't be taught. Set an example of trustworthiness. People have confidence in trustworthy individuals and want to work for them in a culture of integrity. He should be a flexible person. It is a fact that one's plans and strategy will change according to the change of customers' taste and preferences, competition in the market, and change in the lifestyle of people. So it can be flexible. Essential attitudes of an entrepreneur. He is not fear of failure. He can make timely decisions. The major company asset is oneself. That means entrepreneur himself is the best and important asset of a company. Last but not the least is keep one's ego under control. Do not take profits and spend them on expensive objects to impress others. Control the ego by suppressing unnecessary needs and wants. Rebound quickly from the setbacks. That means he should have a capability to recover himself if there is some setback. Periodically getting out of one's comfort zone to pursue something important. Many times one feels uncomfortable while implementing a needed change in the technology, people, mission, competing, etc. For a company and one person to grow personally, sometimes has to set up for step out of one's comfort zone. Next important topic of this chapter is motivation, entrepreneurial motivation. The word motivation comes from the Latin root movers, which means to move. Motivation is usually defined as an internal state that arouses, directs, and maintains behavior. Motivation thus may be regarded as something which prompts, compels, and energizes an individual to act or behave. Entrepreneurial motivation may be defined as a process that activates the entrepreneurs to exert a high level of effort for achievement of his or her goals. In other words, the entrepreneurial motivation refers to the drive of or forces within an entrepreneur that affects his or her direction, intensity, and persistence of voluntary behavior. Process of motivation. First, there were unsatisfied needs, then there is a tension, then there is a drive. That means what leads to find out the solution or to satisfy the needs. Then there is search behavior, satisfaction of the needs. That means finding out the sources which can satisfy the need. Then satisfaction of need, and lastly, it is reduction of tension. Maslow. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. This is a theory proposed by Abraham Maslow and is based on the assumption that people are motivated by a series of five universal needs. These needs are ranked according to the order in which they influence human behavior in hierarchical fashion. As one type of need is satisfied, the another higher order need will emerge and become operative in life. Now you can see the hierarchy of needs. Very important are basic needs, that is psychological needs, that food, water, warmth, rest. Next is safety needs, that is security and safety. So this once the basic needs are satisfied, next needs are aroused. They are psychological needs. Psychological needs are belongingness and love needs, that is intimate and friendship. Esteem needs, that is prestige and feeling of accomplishment, that is self-esteem needs. And lastly, it is self-fulfillment needs. That means when these needs are satisfied, it will reach to the next level of needs. And when these basic needs are satisfied, the next unsatisfied needs are esteem needs. This way the hierarchy goes in the upper direction. After we have seen the types of needs, we'll see the needs one by one. Physiological needs, the most important need according to the Maslow. When these physiological needs are developed for long period, all other needs fail to appear or retreat in the background. Physiological needs are deemed to be the lowest level needs. These needs include the needs such as food and water, that means basic needs. You can see food, water, air. These are the first level or basic level of needs, which are physiological needs. Next are safety needs. When the physiological needs are successfully fulfilled, then safety needs become the dominant force in the personality of the individual. Safety needs are many and are mainly concerned with maintaining order and security. Safety needs include a desire for security, stability, dependency, protection, freedom from fear and anxiety, and a need for structure, order, and law. In the workplace, these needs translate into need for at least a minimal degree of employment security. The knowledge that we cannot be fired on a whim and that appropriate levels of effort and productivity will ensure continued employment. That means that the worker is having a happy working culture and he is never scared of being fired very easily. Personal security, financial security, and health well being. That is, the working environment should give these three safety needs. Next are social needs, that is, socially acceptability. This need emphasize basic psychological nature of human beings to identify with the group life, making intimate relationship with other members of society. These needs are dependent on the fulfillment of previous needs. That means when the previous needs are satisfied, then these needs are arisen, which are friendship, family, and relationships. Esteem needs. Esteem needs includes the desire of self-respect, self-esteem, and the esteem of others. When focused externally, these needs also include the desire for reputation, prestige, status, fame, glory, dominance, recognition, attention, importance, and appreciation. That means a person wants that his name should be there in the society. That is achievement either in the form of rewards or in the form of awards, and he should have certain status. Next important level of needs and the topmost level of need is self actualization need. The highest need, it means to fulfill one's individual nature in all aspects, being what one can be. One of the most important aspects of self actualization is freedom from cultural and self imposed restraints. Self actualization is possible when the basic needs of a person are met. Next, the other psychiatrist or the psychological expert, he has given the other theory of needs. We have seen Maslow's hierarchy. Now we are going to see Maxwell's theory of needs. According to David Maxwell, regardless of the culture or gender, people are driven by three motives. That means there are three motives of a person to live his life. That is achievement, affiliation, and power. Since Maxwell's first experiment, over 1,000 studies relevant to achievement motivation have been conducted. These studies strongly support the theory. This theory says that the achievement, affiliation, and power, these are the three things or these are the three pillars that will give motivation. If a person is constantly achieving something, he'll be motivated to work. If a person is constantly affiliated, that means more and more people like him, more and more people love him, so he'll be motivated. And if a person is constantly given more power, he will be motivated to work more. So these are the three basic pillars according to Maxwell's needs theory. Achievement. The need for achievement is categorized by the wish to take responsibility for finding solutions to problems, master complex tasks, set goals, and get feedback on level of success. Affiliation. The need for affiliation is to categorize by a desire to belong, an enjoyment of teamwork, and concern about interpersonal relationship, and the need to reduce uncertainty. Power. The need for power is to categorize by a drive to control and influence others, a need to win arguments, a need to pursue and prevail. According to Maxwell, the presence of these motives are driven in an individual indicates a predisposition to behave in certain ways. Therefore, from a manager's perspective, recognizing which need is dominant in any particular individual affects the way in which that person can be motivated. That means The person has to identify what are the forces driven to better performance and to get motivated. The last topic of this chapter is entrepreneur versus employee. Employee is the one who is working for other. Entrepreneur is the one who is a free individual and independent person. A person who sets up a business or business taking a financial risk in the hope of profit, he is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is commonly seen as a business leader and innovator of new ideas and business process. While when we talk about employee, he is a person. While when we talk about employee is a person who works for a fixed salary or a wage, who is hired to work in return for payment, and he is there to follow the instructions. Must have skills. For an entrepreneur, he should be the head of the family. He has a world view, that means a big outlook, predict the future. He has sales in his mind. He should manage the financing and he should be very good at networking. While we talk about an employee, he should have skilled family members, a technical proficiency. He should have a management skills, problem solving, hard working, and he should be responsible. Entrepreneur, the degrees are more risk, more effort, and more reward. Employee, there is less risk, there are less efforts, and of course, the rewards are also less. Advantages: entrepreneur is free, that he can do what he wants to. He has excitement, he has originality, and he has freedom. While an employee, he has assured salary, he is responsible for self, he has no financial risk, and he has lots of free time daily because his working hours are confined. Disadvantages: he do not have salary, he do not have fixed working hours, he is not responsible for others. While employee, he has fixed salary, he has limited skill learn, and his has to follow the instruction, that means his job is in his boss hand. Intrapreneur is the person who is employee but then he turns into an entrepreneur. He is a person who sets up, maintains, and assumes the financial risk of an intern business venture, not to be confused with entrepreneur to the more traditional entrepreneur. They are new breed of internet entrepreneurs. Their characteristics are: they are result driven, they are ambitious, they are creative, they are original, self confident, risk tolerant, persistent, influencing, high energy, and action oriented. They are interpersonal and innovative. That means such characteristics, if they are possessed in any individual who are working in an entrepreneurship, they are being turned into an entrepreneurs. Firms can be benefited by competitive advantages of an entrepreneur. The enterprise that does not daily innovate inevitably ages and declines. Even in the successful business, the disease of bureaucracy and compliance is dangerous. So it is better that they should be given the task or they should be given the ownership. Basically, entrepreneurs are the ones who are employees of the business and then they are given the ownership in the business by giving them shareholding. Implementing the entrepreneurship culture. Employees are to be encouraged to be creative and to look for new ways to improve current way of doing the business. Entrepreneurs can grant something akin to ownership rights in the internal enterprises they create. Encourage company-wide involvement by insisting on truth and honesty in marketing and marketplace feedback. That means the workers or the employees are to be given certain advantages and should be given active participation in proper decision or important decision making method. You can see the companies like Apple and Google, they are growing up with the culture called entrepreneurship. That's it for the chapter 2. Thanks for watching.